Hi again. In this video, we will be talking about controlling the production plan, how we could manage the input of the plan, whereas the plan on paper, on computer versus the actual one. Control the work going into and out of a work center, the input versus the output. And we need to set priorities of orders to run at each work center. These are just important because we need to make sure that we're uh, cleaning up these work centers. So if we imagine that the input would be this way, that's the input rate, and we will have some work in progress and queue and load and wait time, and that's the output for the output rate. So we're comparing the input with the output to ensure that we have a good control plan. So let's take a look into how we could apply this control idea. So let's say that we have a period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they have the planned input. We know they were going, we planned to have a 38 as an input, 32, 36, 40, 44. However, also we planned as an output, we will have 40, 40, 40, 40, and 40 in each period, a total of 200. Now, the actual input, for some reason, due to some circumstances, we have the actual input to be 34, 32, 32, 42, and 40. The actual output would be 32, 36, 44, 44, and 36, etc. Now, what we need to do, the first thing is to find the cumulative variance between the actual input versus the planned input. So, for example, on period 1, we have 34 actual input versus what we plan for is 38. So that would be -4 as the variance. It looks in period 2, we don't have anything, so we don't have any variance, so we still have -4. Now on week 3, we have 32 minus 36. That's another 4 short. We're short of 4 units. Add to the 4 from before, that will give you a cumulative of -8, or 8 units are short. Now moving into here, we will have 42 minus 40. So we added 2 extra units. So that would take care of the 8 and reduce it to 6 units short. Now for the last period would be 40 minus 44. That will give you a 4 units short plus 6. That will give you a 10 units in the input as short between the planned versus the actual. Now we have to do the same thing for the output, planned versus actual, and we found out what would be the cumulative. So for example, on the first one, the first period would be 32 minus 8. That would be minus 32 minus 40. That will give you a -8. So we're short of 8 in the output. And then add to that another 4 coming from period 2. That's -12. However, we made extra units on week 3. So that would be a -8. And another 4 units extra, -4, because we could send some to the previous cumulative work, the cumulative variance. And then on week 5, looks like we're short another 4 units. So 4 plus 4, that would be 8. So total, we have a variance of output to be 8. Now, somebody will ask why this is important. Well, you're controlling, basically. You are able to control the input versus the output, and then you have some correction active plan, and you could know, this is the table. What I want you to do is the planned the planned versus actual backlog. So we have 32 and 32. For period 1, what we have to do, previous backlogs, so let's say how many backlogs we have. We have a 32. For this here, 32 plus planned input, which is planned input right here, 38, minus the planned output, which is 40. So as you see, 38 minus 40, that will be an additional, that will take care of planned input minus planned output. That will give you a 30 units. Let's do one more time. 32 plus 38 minus 40, so that would be equal to 30. And you do the same thing, and you will have an idea on what would be the backlog for each of these weeks. All right, so just a few things that we did for the cumulative variance, the difference between the total plan for a given period and the actual total for that period. And to do the calculation for the cumulative variance would be the previous cumulative variance plus actual minus the planned. In this way, you could calculate and create some control reports. All right, so here's another example that I want you to work on as well. And it looks like it is a similar example, actually. 38, 34, yep, 38, 32, yeah, 36. Yeah, it looks like the same example, but it's there's some highlights and they're showing you some of these calculations. So I want you to review it on your own and let me know if you have any question. Here is another example that I also want you to work on by your own, and then let me know if you have any question so that's what we're going to end this video for this as the control. Now we're moving into dispatching, or what we call the operations sequencing. That's for another video.